Luis, I want to come back to you and say, let's have a discussion about some business cases. People are asking themselves, where is it appropriate to use blockchain and where maybe is it not appropriate? Can you give us a bit of understanding of some of the problems that you experienced in the industry which brought you to address, blockchain as a possible solution?
Yes, as I mentioned before, aviation relies much on records. Airworthiness records, well, basically all type of records. They are stamped in the regulations, being EASA, being FAA, but they are stamped in the regulations. So organizations need to have a record history of all products. Basically, this is where the problem begins. So sometimes the records extension it's so big, or it's so not organized that people lose track of the records. So this is quite concerning because we need to ensure basically the back to birth of almost everything what we have in our airplane. And this is concerning where people don't have accurate information about the products that are currently installed on an airplane. So this is quite a challenge because what we are trying to do at Earhart is to build an ecosystem where aviation organizations or the aviation ecosystem can place and make use of blockchain technology to make their records. So then the organizations can build a history of records on top, for example, of an engine, of an airplane, on a specific part, and all the back to birth data it's ensured. It is permanent, it is immutable, and it's also reliable information. When you are returning your airplane to your lessor, so you can do it in 2 clicks. All the information goes with the airplane. It's quite simple to do that. We did that a couple of months ago. We did the first phase out, phase in of an airplane using only blockchain technology. And so this will bring a new level of security and safety to aviation, because blockchain can increase security and both safety in this ecosystem.
So I know surrounding this topic of records, there's a number of problems that have emerged in the industry. And I think we have a couple slides which sort of address some of that. Maybe you could talk about, just the general topic, and then I know you have a few news stories and things. Could you just talk about that?
Yes, aviation is highly regulated. Actually, is the second most regulated industry worldwide. So there is almost a piece of regulation for almost everything. But this leads to one thing, that the ecosystem is digital ineffective, because most of the people that I thought they think being digital effective is scan a piece of paper in the scanner and keep it in the computer. This is not digital effectiveness. So this is a digital representation of a physical asset. And so we have an attack that aviation is currently being. So there is a lot of bad players in aviation. Actually, this slide was quite easy, unfortunately, to make. There are a lot of bad examples in the news about forged records and records adulteration in the industry. There is a lot of bad examples. I don't know how many examples or how many more cases there are, but one for me, it's already too much. Also, and the source of this slide is Aerospace Industry Association. In only 4 years, there was 28,000 incidents related to fake parts. Again, blockchain can solve this and can bring traceability of parts and records to the industry. So let's think about this. There is a huge amount of problems in aviation. Then also the cost of cyber attacks. The cost of cyber attacks only to the aviation ecosystem in last year was around 20 billion. So you need to think how much cost your airworthiness records. How much did it cost it to you? So this is the value that you need to think. This is the value that the blockchain solution can bring to protect your data and to protect your assets.
Yeah.
Because imagine that you lose all the airworthiness records. The value of your aircraft, of your engine, will be highly reduced. So
Luis, I've noticed in the news lately that we potentially have an opportunity for a lot more fake parts, to enter into the system because of aircraft maybe that have been seized during the war and things like that. And so this problem continues to increase over time, and we have to continue to find ways to solve it. But early on, somebody out there, I forgot the name, but said, I'm interested to know about some of the business cases for blockchain. Well, some of them that I've talked about previously that we're going to cover in future broadcasts are, is that we know that blockchain is currently being used, for different applications like parts and materials and logistics. We know that blockchain is being used in cryptocurrencies and being used, for payment, for air transportation. We know that it's already being used for NFTs and being used by some of the operators for NFTs. We know that blockchain has different capabilities for security, and the necessity of security